Sophomore year, you run the 800 and 148.98. Then you win
Yes,
the California State Championship as a sophomore. You've also
that was
won
fun.
the Aegis Arcadia Invitational. Then your
Hmm.
junior year, you run 147.96, but then you're
Arcadia.
by Aaron Richburg in the California State Championships. Talk
Yeah.
about how that progression happened where you keep growing and growing, you improve, and then your junior, you're in your best shape possible, and then you get
Yeah.
upset.
Oh man, that was definitely it shook up the world, shook up my world for sure. That was a year that I was really gunning for. I had my mind outside of high school. I was really just seeing times as just a stepping stone to get what my main goal was to be an Olympian, was to be an international 800-meter runner. And my mind was almost to go pro. I was hungry. I felt like I was one step one any meet I can do 145. I almost in a way to, for lack of a better word, I respected athletes, very was a good sportsman, but I didn't I didn't see there. I was like, I had my own path. I was looking up here and sometimes not looking at the steps that I was doing at the time. So and it goes to show I was really running fast. So there was granted, yeah, I'm looking at the stars because I'm like, that's where I'm heading. Now this is haven't been done before. This is uncharted territory in this 800 meter in U.S. high school history. My dad would have he would have pictures on the wall of people who had faster times than me in the state and the nation. And every time I would pass somebody's time, he'll take their picture off the wall. So each time we're just snatching off pictures, we're eating, and having this on my mind. And then here comes state. The year before was one of the best races I've been in. It was like 5 lead changes, 6 lead changes between Obi, not Obi, uh, um,
I remember them
got
all.
from
Vondre
Bakersfield,
Armour,
Vondre Armour, yeah,
Richburg. Oh, geez.
Richburg, yeah. It was just a great race where he threw strategy out the door and he just competed and ended up winning as a sophomore. One of the coolest races to watch and fun races to be in after the fact, right? And then coming into my junior year, I felt like there was no competition in there because I was really winning the races by a lot. Obi was running a 400 that day, and I had beaten uh, Aaron Richburg a number of times, and I really didn't have him on my radar. Uh, Fast forward to 20 years later and stuff when we went to Union Logan High School or Union City High School, just Logan High School
It's James
when we had
Logan.
the
James Logan High
yeah
School
yeah
in Union City.
and James Logan and I ended up meeting Aaron Richburg for the first time after the fact and hearing his side of the story was something else. Again, his inspiration was taking me down and that's how he woke up every morning with that on his mind, with that strategy in mind. And just to hear his side of it, that's what sports is all about. You bring it to the table in that highest level of competition. So anyway, I get out there with the goal in mind of just winning it, uh, walking away with it, and thinking that I wasn't going to be challenged, but only challenge was to try to run that third 200 or try to break a national record or break some kind of record, or at least a PR. And I get out and just fast forward to the last 200 meters, Aaron Richburg passes by me. And in my mind, I was like, the audacity of this individual to pass me upon this part of the race. I was just so exalted. And instead of just kind of gradually, you know, building up speed and coming off and giving him the respect that he deserved, I was like, I'll show him. And I just went balls out right away, past him to try to take the spirit away from him. I was like, okay, you messed up. And I just put all my gas on that turn going into the last 100. And I'm in the lead. And I'm going there, and I'm starting to hear the crowd cheer. I'm like, man, they're cheering loud. I can kind of see the clock. I said, there's not going to be any crazy time. Why are they cheering like this? And then I did the mistake, and I looked back, and Aaron looked at me in the eyes. He had the eyes of the bulldog, and it really just took that breath away from me. I was shocked. I was like, damn, he's really coming after me. And at that point, I lost my stride and he was already momentum. And then at the tape, he went on and went past me, ended up being the state champion in 1995. Man, it was a great race to him. More power to him. I'm glad we can been able to break bread to this day and be friends. But at the time, man, I was seeing red. I was passed out I was almost thinking about giving up track after that. I was
Wow.
so embarrassed, so not understanding what my place was in this world. What's all this training for? I mean, I imagine how Mike Tyson felt. That kind of like, whoa, how does this happen? And it was very humbling.
I was there for that race. I was at
Yeah.
Cerritos College. So everything you're saying, I watched.
Yes.
And I remember the crowd. And I
Yeah.
remember you looking back at him, like you
Yeah.
saying it. It was
Yeah.
like the crowd got loud. You weren't supposed to
Mhm.
be beaten.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
it was
yeah.
like when Tyson got beat by Holyfield. It was
Yeah.
like,
Or
nah,
Buster.
no one's beating Michael Granville. And I
Yeah.
remember it was like you sped up like you said, and then but he just but I think you
He
say
wanted it.
he wanted he wanted it. And he had a great collegiate career after that. So you think
Right,
about that.
Auburn. Yeah.
He wasn't a bum. He ran at Auburn, and I think was very good.
Yeah.
I mean, but I remember watching that, and it was like, wow. And
Yeah.
that's another rivalry right there. But that
For
was
sure.
in person. It was phenomenal to see because at the time people were like, no one can beat Michael Granville, but everyone can be beat.
Yeah.
Everyone wakes up in the morning.
Yeah.
That's how it
Yeah.
goes. That's why I tell athletes, you got to go hard. You got to focus. You got
Right.
to want it. You got to.
And
You can
just
beat
to continue on
anybody
what
if
you
you
said,
focus.
yeah.